everybody, and welcome to this edition of HCAM Sports Talk. Tom Nappy here. On today's show, we will be joined by our crew. We'll have Jared, Kevin, and Andy on to make our NFL Week 6 picks. We'll talk some high school sports, plus a lot more. And today, we also talk with Hopkinton Hillers girls varsity soccer head coach, Tom Skiba. But right now, here are the latest happenings in Hillers fall sports. On Wednesday, September 29th, Hiller girls volleyball battled Algonquin. Steve Sweetapple and Matt Clancy were on the call.
Oh, what an ace.
Serve. Wow.
What an ace.
Annabelle's doing such a great job.
And double hit.
Yeah.
KD gets a bump set back, swing. Guy handles that. Bump set outside to Dobish. She goes down the line. Sam's there.
Gotta
Catherine,
have it.
back set. Blocked wide.
Yes.
Tied up. Tied out Hillers. Good. Outside to Dobish. Annabelle's there. Sam.
Nice job by Sam. Track that down.
Nice play from Catherine. Staying alive. Oh, Michaela.
Nice, Michaela.
Great play. Great hustle. Little miscommunication there. It was a great dig out from Root. Catherine. Michaela in the middle. That's it. Hopkinton takes the first set. 26 to 24.
Nice job by Michaela to cap that one off. 2 great points in a row.
The girls took the win in a very competitive match and improved to 10-0 on the season. On Friday, October 1st, Hiller boys soccer took on Bellingham. Hillers struck in the first half.
Dylan Machado Jr. And here it is. And he nets it. 1-0 Hillers. Golombuski sends it over. And it is sent in by Orion Samaga. Samaga the junior with the score at 2:28 left to go in the first half.
2 goals in the first half, and Hopkinton took the win 2-0 and improved to 8-3-1 on this season. On Tuesday, October 5th, Hiller girls soccer battled Norton. Both teams netted a goal in the first half.
Brazos on the throw-in. Trying to work her way in. Nina sends it out in front. Perloff takes the shot and scores! What a great setup by Nina Zalganedos to make it 1-0 to Ava Perloff. Doyle, and it's in. We're tied up at 1 apiece.
Norton took a 2-1 lead in the second half, but the Hillers struck back in a very big way.
Field. Pass up into the box. DuPont slides. Goal! And the Hillers tie it up. Zalganedos sent it up to DuPont, and she punches it in to make it 2-2. Now punching it out of there is Russell. Sent up by Butler. Nina takes the shot. Loose ball. Perlov gets in there and scores! Goal, Ava Perlov, and it's a 3-2 game. Nina over to Recupero. She has some speed. Here goes Recupero. Closing in. Out in front, Perlov, yes! Another one for the Hillers. Second goal for Ava Perlov, assisted
by Madison Recupero, the freshman. Well, this combination of Zalganedos and Recupero working well. Nina takes a shot, and she'll put it in! Well, I guess you could say the Hillers offense has come alive in the second half. Nina Zalganedos makes it 5-2 Hillers.
After 4 goals within 7 minutes to make it a 5-2 game, Hopkinton would end up taking the win 5-3 and improved to 8-3-0 on the season. On Wednesday, October 6th, Hiller Field Hockey fell to Foxborough 4-0.
The Hopkinton Hillers girls soccer team is having a terrific season so far, as they have 8 wins, 4 losses on the season, and they are just 4 points away from a playoff spot. We recently caught up with Hillers girls varsity soccer head coach Tom Skiba. Here's that interview. Hello, everybody. We are here with Hopkinton Hillers girls varsity soccer coach Tom Skiba. Coach, how are you?
Good. How are you, Tom?
Good. Can't complain. The soccer teams are doing great, both the boys and the girls. And the girls continuing to pick up some big wins, even though they're missing one of the big superstars of the team, Georgina Clark. How's she doing? How's the ankle?
She's on the road to recovery. She actually has an appointment today. So we're hopeful that she gets good news out of that.
Absolutely. Hopefully she'll be back very soon. Certainly a lot of fun to watch. The team's still playing very good without her, picking up some big wins. And it seems like there's a lot of versatility on this year's team. Can you just talk about the versatility you have this year?
Yeah, it's really been great to see. We've had a lot of players step up. Overall through the year, we've had 10 girls score on different occasions. And we've also had 8 players contribute in the assist category as well. So that's been fantastic to be able to get that diversity. We've been working on it hard during the practice sessions, and it's really starting to come through in the results and the balance that we're having as an attacking team.
And a lot of great young players on this year's team between Georgina Clark, Madison Recupero, Nina, a lot of great youth on this year's team. Did you know what you had with this year's squad, especially when you look at a player like Georgina Clark, who's one of the top scorers in the TVL and maybe even the state?
You get a good sense of it through the preseason. I'm aware of the players' reputations coming in, but for the vast majority of them, I have not seen them play either as individuals, and I certainly haven't seen them play and integrate with their teammates. And that's probably the biggest thing that we work on through preseason is everybody brings their individual talents and skills to the table, but how can we work together as a team? And for a lot of the players playing high school soccer, they're playing much different positions than they do for their club teams and their academy programs.
Absolutely. It seems to me like this is a close group, good chemistry out there. Can you talk about the team chemistry?
Yeah, it's really the tone gets set by our captains. Gabby Siri and Riley Kratmaker in the back, Ashley Butler in the midfield, and Ava Perloff. They really set the tone for us as a team. They set it in practice in our training environment, and they do it in the games. I mean, Ava's really emerged as a goal scorer. She was quiet last year, but she's gotten some of that ego or that kick in her step back coming into this year, and netted some nice goals for us. And Ashley Butler just continues to do the things in midfield that go unnoticed by a lot of folks. And she's contributed, I'm just looking real quick, I think she has contributed 6 assists as well as a goal of her own. And at the end of the day, that's a small part of her contribution. She really helps control possession, regain possession in our midfield, which absolutely sets the tone for us.
Absolutely. Now I know this is only your third season as head coach with Hillers.
Yep, third is varsity. Yep.
So you've had some good talented groups during that time frame. Do you think this perhaps could be the most talented group that you've had?
Each team's a little different. I would say this team from a soccer skill perspective is right up there. But it's also quite a diverse team because we have a couple of freshmen, we have a strong sophomore class, we've got some great juniors, and we've got some great leadership on the senior class. So, we're all over the board in terms of ages. I wouldn't say we're an older team, and I wouldn't say we're a new or rebuilding program. But we've got a lot of balance in terms of our spread across the classes. And the soccer skill just continues to get better and better with this group.
And you've had some great goaltending this year, a lot of shutouts throughout the season. Can you talk about your goalkeepers? Yeah,
we had a couple of shutouts through the year, and unfortunately we didn't have either of our goalies in our last start out at Millis. One is out with a knee injury, and the other was out with a severe illness. So luckily, we are getting one of them back for today, and we called up Callie Hopkins, who's a freshman who was tending goal for the JV, and she's going to be our backup goalie for the foreseeable future.
Oh, wow. I hope the athlete with the severe illness is doing okay.
Yeah, she's back. She's back. So she was out for a few days. Luckily, it was just a severe cold, but she'll be back. And then Anna's out with a knee injury, and we're waiting a diagnosis, and we hope to get her back in short order as well. That's
great. How's everybody else doing health-wise? Everybody doing okay? There's been a lot of games for you guys lately.
Yeah, it's been a challenging year. I think starting off with the year with the 2 weeks where we had 3 games in each week back to back was definitely a challenge for the team. That and coming into a full schedule where we had, always a challenge with TVL teams because it's such a strong league. And then we added in Division I opponents in Algonquin and Walpole, who was previously Division I. So we certainly had a full plate coming in, and it's taken its toll physically. I think hopefully now we're on the road to recovery and we have a much more balanced schedule the rest of the way. But we were without 5 starters and 2 goaltenders for our last start. We get a goalie back and we get one of our starters back coming into today. But we're still going to be shorthanded when you look at it compared to how we started out the year.
You still kept it close with a good Millis team. Is there a player on this team that has surprised you a lot? Obviously, a lot of new faces on the roster, a lot of younger players. Is there anyone that's really surprised you this season?
I don't know if surprise is the right term. Though I think I'm proudest of our 2 center backs, Morgan Berenson and Riley Krattenmaker. Both of them have really stepped up. Morgan, who was typically on the outside, has moved into the middle when Gabby Siri went down with an injury. And both of them are just so steady for us, and they hold us together in the back line and really allow us to play that the way that we want to play. And that's probably the thing that it goes unnoticed sometimes, but it's absolutely critical for the overall team chemistry for everybody to have confidence in our center backs to hold everything together for us.
Well, Coach, it's been a great season so far, and some big games coming up. We're excited about the talent on this year's team and are expecting a big run. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back into HCAM Sports Talk. Now joining me on the show, we have Andy Barron from MyFM 101.3. We have Kevin Stone from the New England Football Journal, and we have Jared Keene from the Metrowest Daily News. Guys, how are you?
Hey, how's it going,
Tom? How you doing?
I'm doing great. I was the only one to pick Philadelphia, and they beat Carolina. And I won the week.
Get out of here with that garbage. Come
Didn't we
on.
just say we're going to
Second
start
straight
Red
week,
Sox?
you know? Huh?
I thought we were starting Sox. We're already going to start ripping each other.
Yeah, exactly. No, we'll start with Red Sox. I guess we have to talk about them now because they have proven everybody wrong. They are for real. They are advancing to the ALCS. They totally dominated the Rays. Well, I mean, not dominated, but there was a couple of really good games at Fenway Park this past weekend. And last night, the Sox blew a 5-0 lead, which I didn't think was going to go well from there, but they ended up with a walk-off at the bottom of the ninth, took the game 6-5, second straight walk-off in a row for the Sox. And look at them now, advancing to the ALCS. I didn't think I was going to see this, guys.
No one did it. Look, I was admittedly completely out on them after the trade deadline because they basically told everyone, hey, they're not worth, investing in or watching. So why should I?
Right.
And then they blatantly tanked for at least 2 months. So this is stunning to say the least. But look, 15-4 for Alex Cora in the playoffs. I don't care what you think of him. You can't argue with those numbers. So I was wrong. We were wrong. And I'm all in now. How can you not be?
Oh, absolutely. That was impressive what they did to the Rays. And Rays are a team that have kind of dominated them all season long. And they were able to get the bats going. The pitching was pretty good for the most part. Last night, the bullpen was a little iffy. But, yeah, I mean, you got to be all in on them now. They looked dead in the water just, like 2 weeks ago. Looked like they might not even make the playoffs. And then before you know it, they get that wild card game with the Yankees, beat the Yankees, and then they take down the Rays in 4 games. I'm shocked. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, I think they had some breaks go their way too, though, but I think that's what happens in postseason baseball. But let's still not fool ourselves. A 5-game series is different than a 7-game series. Now, let me just ask a couple of questions first off, because honestly, I'm not used to seeing a baseball team play like this, where their starting pitching has really kind of been obsolete. We're used to seeing dominating starting pitching, and they have a good lineup, but do you think this team is better than any of the 4 championship teams they've won? Be honest.
Well, no. No, I don't. But I don't know. Baseball's very different now since then, I feel. I feel like you got a lot more teams using their bullpens more. Starting pitching, it's important, but it's probably not as important if you have a strong bullpen. So I feel like there's many differences with the game between now and if you want to talk about 2018 even. But I do feel like this team has talent. I mean, the bats have really come alive, and I'm starting to feel like this could be one of those runs that maybe they don't have a whole lot of talent, but they put it all together at just the right time. I mean, 2013, that team didn't look great either. And then, of course, you had the marathon bombing, and I think the Sox got a lot of momentum from that and wanting to uplift the city. And, they played with a lot of passion. And I think this team is starting to, play with passion, not for a different reason, obviously, but I feel like this team's buying into it, and they are starting to play the best baseball that we've seen probably all season long at exactly the right time. And I think in that situation, it's really not all about talent. If you just get hot at the right time, that could lead you to many great places.
I think Kevin hit the nail on the head earlier when he said, I was out on this team too. I think a lot of people are probably out on this team, but I think you have to be all in on this team right now, considering what they just did. I mean, the Rays are a talented team, and we just, again, took them down in 4 games. You have to look at somebody like Kike Hernandez. This guy is ridiculous. I mean, what Kike Hernandez has been doing at the plate is insane. Again, our bullpen has been an issue all year. whether you've been in on the team or not, the Sox bullpen has not been good. And, obviously we found a way last night after giving up a five-run lead, but, you have to be kind of all in on this team right now. And, I agree with you, Tom. I think there's some talent on this team. I don't know if I agree that, because I still think starting pitchers is extremely important. When you have somebody like Max Scherzer on your staff, which we don't, that's important. When you have somebody like DeGrom on your staff, that's important.
Right. I'm not saying it's not important. I'm just saying teams use their bullpens more. I mean, the Rays use
I feel you.
pitchers yesterday, and Sox used 5 themselves. If you have a great starter like that, that's everything as well.
Sorry, Tom. No, I was just saying the most ironic part. Last night was the 22-year anniversary of Pedro coming out in Cleveland for 6 innings. And that was in relief, but he was just mowing people down through 6 innings. So the starting pitching thing is annoying, and then Tampa Bay has just ruined the game by doing it. But then again, if you have people like Tanner Houck and like Nick Pivetta the other night, that's one of the more ballsy performances I've ever seen.
He was awesome.
It was insane. So on one hand, it's annoying that starters don't mean as much, but on the other, if you have guys that can give you 4 or 5 innings, well, it's just as entertaining. So I don't know how I feel about it, but it's definitely a little bit annoying. I'll say that.
Is Chris Sale a liability?
Yeah, he's terrifying right now, and that's a problem.
Yes.
That's an issue.
That is an issue because he was a huge part of that 2018 team. I think we can all agree. I just feel that, and listen, I give them credit. They deserve to win this series, hands down. No doubt about it. They deserve to be in the ALCS. I just feel they're going to run out of steam because, this style of baseball, but again, we're not used to seeing it. I just think and again, we're playing with house money right now. I think we can all agree. I don't know if they're as talented as the White Sox or the Astros. I just think they're going to have trouble. It's just, it's tough, and they're going to be on the road. Now they've won on the road before, but if you're really looking down the line, say they play that Giants team, they are so good. I mean that, and let's not forget that crowd is for real in San Francisco. I mean,
let's take it one step at a time here. You got to get through the ALCS first.
But I'm just saying, that is, you can't argue that. I mean, that is a tough place to play if it was to get that far. But
I couldn't believe the Giants beat Scherzer last night. Scherzer looked unhittable through the first few innings. He was ridiculous.
It was only 1-0 too.
I know.
That's what the Giants are, though. They're a team.
Yeah.
They just have a lot of experience. They grind it out. I mean, they make it tough on you.
I'd be shocked if Giants will win that series now.
Yeah, I mean, I worry about Chicago and Houston offensively, but then again, I don't know what they have for pitching either. So I mean, we might be looking at 10-9 games the whole series.
Yeah,
which would be entertaining, but that's not playoff baseball.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, sometimes it is. They've scored a lot of runs, or there's been a lot of runs in games in the past. But yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying, though. I mean, you're used to those great pitching matchups in playoff baseball, and I don't know if nowadays those are going to be as common anymore. I think a lot of it's going to be about hitting. The game in general has gotten more offensive. There's been more runs, I think, ever this season than past seasons. But I love the Red Sox bats in that series. I mean, they were red hot. JD Martinez, Verdugo, Devers, they all had some big hits, and feels like up and down this lineup, everybody contributed a little bit. And I think that's why they were able to dominate this series. It really wasn't an easy spot in this lineup for the most part. And I think if these bats keep hitting the way they are and they keep putting up the runs they are, something special is going to happen. But we shall see. There's a long way to go.
One step at a time.
Yeah. But hey, you got to be in on them now. They have a chance. They beat the Rays. Yes, a 7-game series is a different animal, and you're going to get either a tough Astros team or a tough White Sox team, and obviously they have the home advantage, which certainly doesn't help your cause. But I think this team could accomplish anything after what they did to the Rays, just absolutely dominating them. Anything's possible this season, it seems. But yeah, I think the National League teams are definitely a little bit stronger than the American League teams for sure. So, but we shall see. I'm glad there's going to be some more October baseball for the Red Sox. I did not expect this 2-3 weeks ago. And like many people, I haven't really watched them that much during the season. So just started to get back into them during the playoffs. But you got to be into them now. The Sox have done this before. They've had a team that you would never expect to take it all, and they've done it before. So who knows? And I definitely think that they are fully buying into Alex Cora, and he has just done a great job with this team. I think typically in baseball, the manager doesn't make all that much of a difference, but some managers do. And I think Alex Cora is one of those guys.
Agreed. And it's also, we got to remember, it's only been 3 years since we last saw a championship. Last night, it felt like forever. Like, I don't remember that feeling, for a while, but it's only been 3 years.
Right.
And it's also, there's a chance we have all 4 teams playing, at the same time next week. It's always the best time of year.
Sure.
Like, whenever that happens, it's just
Very
awesome.
true.
It's
Very
good
true.
to have that back.
Very true. It's funny because they went for a period of time where they'd win the World Series, and then the next season they'd finished in like last place in all of baseball. And then the year after that, win another World Series. But hey, you know what? I'll take every other season not being good if you're gonna keep going far into the playoffs and keep winning rings. But anyways, we also have football taking place, and we have our picks, and we shall get to them since we have only about 20 minutes left on the show. Last week, I was the grand champion. I'm expecting my crown to be delivered to me from you guys. Thank you.
Week 5.
I went 14-2.
Wow.
Jared,
Jesus.
you were right on my heels, man. You went 13-3. And then you had Mike go 12-4. Our good friend Steve went 12-4. And Kevin and Andy, well, you guys went 9-7.
Well, okay.
Hey,
Yeah.
I was over 500. I'll take it.
Kevin, we can't take Jacksonville anymore, man.
No, God, no.
Overall records, I'm 54-26. Jared is 51-29. Mike is 48-32. Andy's 45-35. Steve is 47-33. And Kevin is 38-42. So
Get back to 500.
you guys
Kev.
got some work to do if you want to catch me.
Still early.
It's very early. All right, let's get to it. Thursday night football. Tampa Bay at Philadelphia. Philly could make this game interesting, but I think Tampa Bay, they are starting to go back to the team that we saw last Super Bowl. That offense last week was absolutely unstoppable. I have to go Brady and the Bucks for Thursday night football. Jared, what do you got?
Tampa, this is easy. There's no way I'm picking Philly here. Come on, give me a break.
All right, is anyone picking Philly?
No.
Yeah.
You are?
2 reasons. 1, short week. 2, I don't know if you saw the injury to Brady's hand. I don't know if he can throw the ball this week.
Yeah.
There's a chance he sits. If they're
Really?
smart, they seriously consider it because A, they can probably beat Philly without him, and B, it's long term. I'd take a look at that. So I don't know if you guys saw the picture, but
I didn't see
it looks very similar to the injury in 2018. So again, you guys know I'm a Brady guy. I get a bad feeling about this week.
But he did win that game.
He did.
Yeah, if he sits, well, that's not good.
That would be poor. But actually,
Looks
like
like
Kevin said,
Kevin
they
will
could
get
probably-
one on us if he sits.
probably still beat Philly without him.
Yeah, they're still
Probably.
good to win this game without Brady. I just can't. Just Brady's just on such a different planet. This guy, to make him sit a game, he's going to figure out a way to play. I mean,
Look, Tom, you just read my record. I had to pick Philly.
All right. Yeah, that's true. I don't blame you. All right, 9:30 a.m. in London. 9:30 a.m. here, but they'll be playing in London. Miami versus Jacksonville. Andy, we'll
Gosh,
start
why
off
do we
with
even
you.
have to pick this?
oh my God,
It's brutal.
these two teams are just completely
Atrocious.
no idea what they're doing whatsoever. Honestly, I think it's getting to the point where Is Brian Flores' job in jeopardy because the Dolphins do not look good? But I'm going to take them this week because I can't pick Jacksonville anymore.
All right. Kevin, who are you taking?
Yeah, no, Miami. It's the lesser of two dumpster fires.
All right. Jared.
Can I pick both teams to lose? Is that possible?
0-0 tie.
Sure.
All right, I'll go Miami. I can't pick Jacksonville.
All right. I'm gonna go Jacksonville. I'm going Jacksonville.
Love it, Tom.
I think they get their first win. You know, every dog has its day, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be kind of mad though if Miami wins and it costs me a game on you guys. Probably not the smartest idea, but what are you gonna do? All right, Kansas City at Washington. This should be an interesting game. Both teams coming off of tough losses. Kansas City just got absolutely destroyed by Buffalo. I think they'll come back with vengeance in this game. I think Kansas City will take it. Kevin, who do you got?
Washington. That Kansas City team is not the same team, and I don't know why. It feels like if Washington's ever going to get up for a game, it's this one. So, and again, I need the help.
All right, Andy.
I'm taking Kansas City only because Washington's just too inconsistent. You don't know what you're going to get. But I agree with Kevin. That Kansas City team does not look good right now. But I still think they squeak this one out.
All right, Jared.
Indy couldn't have said it any better. I'm going Kansas City, but this isn't the same Kansas City team. I'm not high on Washington. I don't know. Washington again, too inconsistent. You know,
very inconsistent. Yeah. Their defense was supposed to be one of the best in the league. It's looked like a train
garbage
the last couple of weeks.
Garbage.
And Kansas City, you're right. They're not the Kansas City that we're used to for sure. I do think Kansas City will improve as the season goes on and maybe starting this week. I just can't imagine someone as talented as Mahomes not finishing the year with a pretty good record, but I don't think they're the dominant. I don't think they'll ever be the dominant Kansas City team that we've seen the last couple of years, at least this season anyway. Rams at the Giants. Is anyone going Giants?
No.
Yeah.
God, no.
Evan, you sure?
Half the Giants team is out right now. Jones left the game. Barkley left the game.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about. Yeah, no way.
They got nobody on offense.
No, the Rams are gonna coast in this game.
Yeah, Jones is out too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who's going to be their quarterback?
Is it Mike Glennon? I thought I heard.
Yes, Mike Glennon will, I believe, be the starter this week.
Lord.
Against that Rams defense, forget it.
The Rams like 72-0.
Yeah, they'll have like 6 or 7 picks in that game.
Oh yeah.
Houston at Indy. Indy surprised me yesterday, going neck and neck with the Ravens, but they did end up blowing the game. Houston, I just think is terrible. Houston had every opportunity to beat the Patriots, who did not play a good football game, by the way, this week, and they just couldn't do it. I got to go Indy in this one. After seeing them last night, as long as Wentz stays healthy, they have a chance. Jared, who are you going with?
Yeah, I'm going to Indy. But again, I don't know if I feel great about this. Like you said, Houston had every opportunity to beat the Patriots, and if they did, I might actually take Houston this week. But they looked the worst team ever in the second half and allowed the Patriots to pretty much win that game. And the Patriots played an absolutely garbage game. So yeah, I mean, I'm taking Indy here.
All right, Kevin.
Yeah, Indy for all those same reasons.
Andy.
Yeah, I got Indy.
All right, Indy across the board. Cincinnati at Detroit. Detroit, they just keep finding new ways to lose. They were winning that game against Minnesota like the whole way and blew it once again. I got to go Cincinnati. Cincinnati, man, what a game that was with Green Bay. I think Cincinnati's legit. They're legit. They're going to be right up there in the AFC North. I like what I'm seeing out of the Bengals. So Bengals for me. Jared, what do you got?
Yeah, Bengals. I like Jamar Chase a lot, man. This guy is really, really good. Joe Burrow has thrown the ball well. I can't pick Detroit. I think Kevin might pick Detroit here, but I'm going Cincy.
All right, we'll save him for last then. Andy, who do you got?
Taking the Bengals. I mean, I can't. I just can never pick the Lions again. They really might not win a game this year.
All right, Kevin, who are you picking?
So I wasn't going to say it until Jared said it, but I actually am going to take Detroit.
All right.
If nothing else, I
knew
think
it.
I've been shocked
knew
at
it.
how close they've been in some of these games. Like, you think of a Dan Campbell team, and you expect them to get smoked every game, and they really haven't. So, yes, I need the help, and it could be an emotional letdown for Cincy, too, because they really should have won that game.
Yeah.
We should see how many spreads Detroit has won. They've probably won most of them.
They've
Yeah.
covered pretty much every spread this year. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not confident by any means, but I could see it happening.
Oh, definitely. I think this Detroit team does have talent, and Goff is having a better time with the offense than Stafford ever did. But I still see him finishing the season with a miserable losing record. But I see them being one of those teams that keep just about every game somewhat close. All right, Green Bay at Chicago. Chicago, they dominated the Raiders this past Sunday evening. And I don't think that means much considering that John Gruden was just let go and the Raiders are starting to fall apart. And I think that team is just going to absolutely tank.
Raiders are a fraud.
But the Bears defense, I got to give them credit. That's a pretty good defense the Bears got going. But I think Green Bay is going to pull this one out, but I expect it to be a really close game. Andy, who do you got?
I'm going to take Chicago. I think they've played a lot better, and that Justin Fields is the quarterback. They've had some good wins. And again, I'm just still not sold on this Green Bay team. I just can't buy into them, and it's on the road. I think it's going to be one of those classic NFC North games, but I'm taking Chicago.
All right, Kevin.
This might be the toughest game of the week. I'm going to take Green Bay only because I think that spot for Chicago last week was kind of a layup. I mean, that team was in shambles. So yeah, I don't love it, but I'm going to take Green Bay.
All right, Jared.
I've had pretty good success picking Green Bay, so I'm going to go Green Bay. But again, I don't love it.
Did they beat Chicago already this year?
No, it's the first time they're playing.
Oh, that was Minnesota I was thinking of.
Yeah.
All right, Chargers at Ravens. This is a very interesting game. I'm
This is a
really
spicy one.
impressed with this Chargers team. I said last year that I expect this team to get better. I didn't think they would get this much better. They're going to be right in the mix. They might even win the West with the way they're playing and the way Kansas City's playing. Ravens, they pulled it out last night, but the Ravens defense has been so disappointing. They've given up a lot of points this year. And Chargers, they had a dominant win against Cleveland. Or actually, it wasn't a dominant win. That game was insane.
That was an insane
That
game.
game
It was a sick game.
6 touchdowns in the fourth quarter.
42 to 43 to 41 or something.
Yeah, it was like the Kansas City and Rams Monday night game a year ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
Were we all just praising Cleveland's defense last week too?
Yeah, I was. That
Andy was, yeah.
Yeah, I think I did too. I don't know what happened to their defense that game, but give me the Chargers in this game. Kevin, who are you going with?
Where is it?
It's at Baltimore.
Give me the Chargers.
All right, Andy.
I'm taking the Chargers, and right now, I think Buffalo and the Chargers are the two best teams in the AFC.
Yeah, I could see that. Jared.
Chargers are really good, man. Chargers. This team is for real. This offense can really play. Justin Herbert has been very impressive, and Austin Eckler is really good out of the backfield.
Yes.
Eckler
Is
might
Herbert
be the
the
best
MVP
running
right now?
back in the league.
Is Herbert the MVP right now?
He's up
He's
there
gotta be in
with him and Dak
contention.
Yeah, he's
Prescott.
got to be, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That Herbert to Williams connection, so great.
Sick.
Yes.
So glad I have Williams on my fantasy team.
I was just going to say you must have him.
Yeah, but I lost this week anyway by a point. Okay.
Oh, jeez.
I had Josh Allen in my lineup this week. I rolled. I think I won by 20 this week.
Oh, that's who I was playing against. That's why I lost, I think. I'm pretty sure Josh Allen was in the kids' lineup I was playing.
Yeah.
All right, Vikings at Carolina. This is the most questionable game of the week. I have no idea how this game's going to go. Minnesota, I just can't figure out what they are. But I think their defense played well last week. Carolina, they looked lost against Philly last week. I'll go Vikings here. Jared, who do you got?
I'm tempted to use my Hamilton card here. Just because again, this is a really tough one. Again, a little bit of inconsistency. Carolina looked lost. I'm going to go Hamilton Cards / Vikings.
All right, we'll put the asterisk in there. Kevin,
This is a really weird one.
Yeah,
It is.
I don't like this game at all. Carolina. I think it's probably a shootout, and I like a Matt Rule offense over a Mike Zimmer offense.
All right, fair enough. Andy.
Taking Carolina. They'll bounce back this week.
All right. Well, it'll be pretty funny if I'm right about Carolina again. Arizona at Cleveland, getting into the 4:00 games now. Cleveland, they did not look good defensively last week. Their offense looked good. But, man, that game was unbelievable. What a finish. I'm going to take Arizona. I think they look just unstoppable right now. That offense is flying high. That defense is flying high. They're playing some great football, totally dominated San Francisco. I think they're on a tear, but I could see this game being a close one because I think Cleveland's legit as well, especially if they get that defense in check. Andy, who are you taking?
I'm going to take Cleveland. Arizona is very, very good. There is no question about it, but they had a tough game with San Francisco last week. That game was a lot closer than I thought. The Browns are tough at home. I think it's going to be a really good game, and I think the Browns are going to squeak it out this week.
All right. Kevin.
Cleveland, yeah, there's no way their defense is that bad. That's an anomaly, and Arizona struggled against San Fran the other day, so this might be the game of the week. So if you ever told me Cleveland and Arizona would be a game of the week, I would have laughed in your face. So This could be a good one.
Yeah, I think it will be. Who would have thought that at the beginning of the season? Jared.
Where is this game?
Cleveland.
Oh, I'm taking Arizona. I don't know. I have a hard time picking against Arizona, man. This team is really good.
I'll have to make a little note to myself here.
Oh, my bad.
Here's probably a dumpster fire of a game. Raiders at the Broncos. I think the Raiders are totally falling apart. They just lost John Gruden.
Yeah.
I think they're going to lose many games in a row. I'm going Broncos here. Kevin, who do you got?
Yeah, I'm taking Denver. We might not be giving them enough credit. I think they're actually pretty good again. And I don't know if we knew that was going to happen. So I like this Denver team.
All right, Andy.
Oh, my. The Raiders are just a complete mess right now. What a mess. I'm taking the Broncos in this. I don't know how the Raiders are going to recover from this, to be honest.
I don't think they will. Jared, who do you got?
Yeah, Denver. I want to pick. I'm tempted to pick the Raiders here on the kind of weird, emotional sort of bounce back, sort of something. I don't know, crazy, whatever. Actually, you know what? Screw it. Give me the Raiders.
Yeah,
All right.
I thought about it.
In a weird, I don't know, fire your coach, get hyped by whatever coach comes in, blah, 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 this, that, and the other thing. Yeah. I don't know. I'm going out on a limb here.
I can't imagine what those emails said.
Oh, well, I mean, they were talking about it today. This is not good. I mean,
No. I'm sure it's
not anything we can
stuff
really
we
talk
can't
about on
mention.
here, but
I gotta try to pick up some ground on you, Tom, but I'm also giving these guys another chance to probably get some ground on me. So
All right, Dallas, New England, we're going to save that one for last. Let's go to Sunday Night Football, Seattle at Pittsburgh. This is a tough one. Kevin, you could start.
I have no clue what either of those teams are right now. So I'm going to take the home team, but I have absolutely no idea what to expect.
All
Give me
right,
Seattle. Or Pittsburgh, I mean.
Pittsburgh it is. Andy.
I'm taking the Steelers as well, and it's tough coming from west to east. It's a late start. Steelers actually looked pretty good last week, but so I'm gonna take them in this spot.
All right, Jared.
I'm going Seattle here. I think Seattle's going to come in and actually roll on the Steelers. I know it's kind of weird to say, but I think they're going to get up for this one. The Steelers defense has been a little vulnerable this year. Again, you guys know I like Russell Wilson. I think if he comes in and lets it rip, I think they're going to roll.
All right, I'm with you. I'm going Seattle in this one. I think.
Oh, come on, Tom. Take the Steelers.
I thought about it. I was in deep thought about this game. This game could really go either way.
It could.
Either team is good.
Yeah, this is a good game. Great Sunday night football game. And we have a pretty good Monday night football game. Bills at the Titans. This is going to be an interesting one. I think the Bills are just unstoppable right now. They're just rolling over everybody. I got to go Bills. They're unbelievable lately. Jared, who are you going with?
Bills. Enough said. Bills are really good. That's it. That's all I'm going to say.
They might be the best team in the AFC. Kevin.
Tennessee. It's the ultimate, letdown game. You go into KC, you get your win, your quote unquote AFC championship rematch. You then go on the road and get stopped out. You see it happen all the time.
It's possible. Andy.
Tennessee is a tough team to beat at home. I just really like the Bills right now. They are rolling. They have everything going. And you got to start thinking they're going to start playing for that number 1 seed right now in the AFC with the Chargers. So this is a big game for the Bills. I'm just not sold on Tennessee. They lost to the Jets 2 weeks ago. I can't take them serious. I just can't.
Bills defense also. Bills defense, I believe, is the best in the league.
Yeah.
Definitely. Without a doubt. They just totally shut down Kansas City. And they look like a Super Bowl team to me. They really do.
Yeah, they do.
All right, so we go back to Dallas at New England. Boy, is this game scary for the Patriots. I'll tell you what, I'm glad they won last week. That's a win you had to have. You lose that game, you're 1-4, you're done. You're done. You're not coming back from that.
You're about to lose to Davis Mills.
Yeah.
Who looked like friggin', I don't know, Joe Montana. He was absolutely lighting it up. Give me a break.
This defense is really questionable for the Pats. They just look slow at times. And whenever there's speed on the field, they just have trouble keeping up.
Matt Judon is legitimately the only good defensive player right now.
He's so good.
He's ridiculous.
Yeah, he had another great game.
He's tremendous, but no one else is really doing much.
Wow.
And it amazed me how much Houston just trampled all over that defense this past Sunday.
The 18-play drive is embarrassing.
That was bad.
They ran all over them, threw all over them. It was really ugly. I'm shocked they won that game, especially after being down 22-9. I mean, the defense got better, obviously, to stop Houston on a couple drives and get the offense out on the field. On a positive note, the offense looked decent. It looked pretty good. Didn't look terrible. I think they could definitely put up points, but the question is, can their defense ever get them on the field? And that's something that the defense is going to have to get off the field for this offense to produce points. They're not going to win a lot of games like they did this past Sunday. They got good teams coming up now. You're not going to win like that anymore. All right. So, Kevin, who are you going with in this one?
Oh, man.
Yeah,
starting with Kevin.
I just think this team is just not very good at this point. And people don't want to admit it. There's just not much talent. So I'm going to take Dallas until, I have reason to think otherwise.
I'm taking Dallas because I don't trust the Pats defense.
Yeah.
I thought about taking New England because it is at Gillette, but I just don't trust the defense. And this Dallas offense, they've been playing extremely well. And if a team like Houston can run all over you, imagine what Ezekiel Elliott's going to do, or imagine what Dak's going to do in the passing game. They have to show me something besides Judon. Judon's excellent. The best player on the defense, clearly one of the best players in the league. He's awesome, but where's everybody else? They have to show me something. Andy, who you going with?
Yeah, I have to take Dallas. I mean, I just don't. They're just a better team. I mean, let's be realistic. Dallas, you need to start talking about them. They may be one of the top teams in the NFC right now.
Yeah, definitely.
They're up there.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, you can't take too much out of their win this past week because it was the Giants, but they're definitely
But the old Dallas teams would find a way to lose that game.
Yeah.
Right.
They trounced in that game, and that opened my eyes a little bit because, what's going to come down to them is coaching. It's not talent on Dallas.
All right. I like it. Jared, who are you going with?
Dallas. I know I'm wearing a Patriots hat right now, but I'm going Dallas. Dallas is the better team. Dallas has more talent. Again, our defense stinks.
Dallas
That's
across the board. I didn't think I'd see that.
No.
All right, so there it is. Our NFL Week 6 picks. Man, is the season just flying. I think this could end up being a game kind of like the Pats Bucks were. I think the Pats step it up for this game, but I just don't know if they have enough. That defense just looks so slow. But hopefully they will pull out this win. This would be a big statement if they could pull out the win in this one.
Yep.
No doubt. Yep.
All right, guys, we have a few minutes left. So any thoughts about anything going on?
High school. I was just going to go high school. I was at Milford at Mansfield this past weekend. Great game, really, really good game. That Milford team is good, man. I mean, Mansfield gave them everything they had, and Milford battled some adversity and still found a way to win in overtime. That team is good. That showdown with Franklin in a couple of weeks is going to be an elite game. Elite.
That's going to be an amazing game.
You knew Mansfield was probably going to be. No, go for it. Go for
Tough matchup this week, though, at King Philip. That is not a layup. That is a very underrated place to play. That place is going to be packed this week. That's the game that MyFM will be covering this week. But yeah, no doubt about it, Jared. Milford is a very, very good team. There's a lot of good teams right now in the area. As now the season is definitely underway in high school football.
Yeah, and just from my end, BC, another huge game this weekend against NC State, prime time. And look, if they win this one, they're 5-1. You got to start talking about them as legitimate ACC championship contenders.
I think you could have that discussion now.
Yeah, you're right. And then high school wise too, we'll be at CM St. John's Prep this weekend. Should be one of the best games of the year. Two of the best teams in the state, and again, like you guys said, this season so far has been outstanding.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's one of the biggest rivalries in the state.
Mm-hmm.
This season has been really good. TVL has had some great competition, especially the TVL small. Just about everybody in the TVL small is doing really well. Medway's a
weird team, man. I've seen Medway this year, and they look really good at times and look really bad at times and lose to some bad teams. I don't know. I mean, yeah, but that's a weird league.
Real quick, I haven't seen Millis. Did any of you?
No,
I have not.
No,
I think they're 4-1.
They are. They're ranked.
Yes.
They're ranked up there. I think they're in the top 10 in Division 8.
I feel like it came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched a bit of the Ashland Holliston game. Unfortunately, I didn't watch the whole thing. That went 2 overtimes. Ashland ended up getting the 20-14 win. Holliston is 1-4. They're certainly a little better than their record. They've had really tough competition, especially in the Ada League play. They are a younger team this year, but it won't surprise me if Holliston wins out the rest of the season. I mean, that program is just so well coached. But Ashland, I mean, they just continue to dominate in TVL play. 5-0 on the season. They're definitely a contender this year. They are a solid team. But then
Andrew McKay is a really good coach. That guy can coach some football.
He definitely can. But just real quick, in the TVL small, listen to these records. Norton 4-0, Dover Sherborne 4-1, Medway, Millis, Dedham, Bellingham, all 3-2. That is one competitive division.
I remember when none of those teams won any games.
I know.
Right.
I know.
And it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
Like a year ago. But the TVL has certainly gotten more competitive. TVL large a little bit. You got Ashland 5-0, Norwood 4-1. Holliston is 1-4, but they're better than their record. Hopkinton's 1-4. They're very young, not having a great year. Medfield 0-5 and Westwood 1-4.
Yep.
So
that's a 2-horse race right there.
Yep, not much of a race. The TVL small is dominating the TVL large this year, that's for sure. But believe it or not, playoffs are starting, a couple of weeks in high school football.
Crazy.
So it's just flying by. But
where's that CM prep game, Kevin? Is that at prep?
Good question. I have no idea. I'll be at a bachelor party, but we're going to be there.
Oh, and
I'm
Andy,
at a wedding. I'm at a wedding this weekend myself, so I'm going to be out of the coverage scene this weekend.
Andy, and just real quick, you mentioned you volunteered for the marathon yesterday. How'd everything go?
Went great. It was great to have this amazing event back, really a staple in New England, the oldest marathon in the world. It was just great to see runners back out again. I was out at Hopkinton, and it was great. Just you forget just how big of an event this thing it really is. I've run it before, and volunteering is also great because I know what the runners go through. Because and it can be a little overwhelming. There's a lot of moving parts. But it seemed like everybody had a really great race, and congratulations to all the runners who were able to finish yesterday.
All right, and real quick, we're going to go back to the Seattle at Pittsburgh pick because I forgot Russell Wilson's going to be out for that game with a broken hand. So if you want to change your pick, you could do it now. I'm changing mine to Pittsburgh. And Jared, you're the only other one that had Seattle. So you keep in Seattle?
Yeah, I'll go Pittsburgh, I guess. I want to keep mine different from yours, but again, Russell Wilson is a huge part of that offense. I guess I got to go Pittsburgh.
No, he is the offense.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he is likely going to be out with a broken hand. So it's pretty much definite he's going to be out. They're expecting him to miss the game. So
I think he's about I think he's out 4 to 6 weeks, actually.
Yes. What a rough break for Sunday Night Football.
I actually forgot about that. I totally forgot about that when I was talking about the game there. Yeah.
I'm glad I remembered to read the notes that I wrote below the game.
Well done. Well done.
Yep. So that saved us a loss, most likely.
Watch Seattle still roll in that game, like 42-7 or something. Come on.
I'll be so mad. All right. We are out of time. For Andy Barron, Kevin Stone, Jared Keene, I'm Tom Nappy. This has been HCAM Sports Talk. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next week, Wednesday at 2 p.m. Have a good one, everybody.